This is Chris, the Idaho cyclist, bringing you another quick cycling tip, and hopefully you enjoy our video. This is Chris, the Idaho cyclist. Got a quick and simple video tip for you. In this tip, we're going to show you how simple it is to take a mountain bike tire, a tubeless tire, and actually add stands to it. Instead of taking it to your local bike shop, you can just take your stands no-tube sealant, and you can take a tire lever and just going to pop that bead. We're going to add 1.5 cups of our stand sealant to our tire, reseal it, and pump it back up. We'll show you how simple that is. Start off, we're going to take our tire, we're going to release the air out of the tire. Just going to hold down, just unscrew your release, push on it, allow the air to come out. It's going to take a few seconds here. So now once I get the air out, get this tire soft enough, I'm going to get my tire lever and I'm just going to break a small portion of the bead on the tire lever. I don't want to release the whole entire bead, because then when you go back and reinstall the bead on the tire and go to install air into the tire, it's a lot harder to force air into it and get that bead to seal. So just release just a little bit of the tire bead. So I'm just going to push it in with my thumb right here. I'm going to get my tire lever underneath the tire bead here. Going to get it outside your rim and just slide that around, and I'm just releasing it just about a 12-inch section right there. I'm going to put my tire, that section, down to the bottom right here where I can start dumping in my stands no tubes. So I'm going to take my stands no tubes. I'm going to look down there, see how much stands is in the tire to begin with. This tire is completely empty, so I'm going to add 1.5 to 2 full cups. And it's very important to take your stands, shake your stands, and I put my finger on the lid, shake this really good, because there's a lot of stuff that will settle at the bottom of the stands depending on how long that stands has been sitting on the shelf. So I'm going to shake my stands, and when I get ready to fill my cup up that came with the stands, I'm going to turn it upside down, shake it, and then I'm going to fill my cup. Get that thing all the way to the fill line, set your stands aside, and then you're just going to dump that right down into your tire. Take another half, you're going to fill up a half, so shake your stands up really good, shake it, turn it upside down, fill it to the halfway point, and then we're going to dump the rest of the stands into the tire. I'm going to set my cup aside. I'm going to bring my tire back up to the top, and it should just push right back on with your hands. Just like that. So now the tire's set on your rim, and now all we're going to do is add air. If you have an air compressor, this process is going to be a lot easier. If not, you're going to have to hook a floor pump on and pump it up. And you can take another quick and simple thing to do is actually, if you've released all the bead or done all the tire, take soapy water into a spray bottle and then just spray the entire tire with soapy water, and that soapy water will help the rim seal and help it air up a lot easier. So here I got a bottle of soapy water. Just put some dish soap into it, add some water, and you can just spray that around the bead of your tire. And that's actually going to help it seal a lot faster. I keep an air compressor, small air compressor in my garage and in my workshop, so I can just take my air compressor, hook it up to my tire, my tube stem, and then I'm just going to fill it back up full of air. And you want to air it up until you actually hear the bead of the tire actually snap into position. You can hear it snap. Put it up higher than you would normally air up that tire. Spin that tire around. Make sure the stands is circulated throughout the tire. I like to actually, where that bead is set, I like to turn the bike sideways so the stands will actually run around that bead. Make sure it's completely sealed. Set it back up on a rack, and then you can look at the bead of the tire, and you can actually see, because of the soapy water, you could hear and actually see bubbles or actually hear it leaking. It's not leaking, good to go. That's how simple it is to refill the stands in your tires. Make sure you check your stands. It actually dries out, disappears, probably about, depending on the conditions you're riding, how much you're riding. I like to fill them about once a month. Closer shot of us taking and releasing the bead on this tire. Just gonna unscrew on my Presta valve. Just unscrew the little release. Gonna push it in, let the air out, start to squeeze the tire, feel that the air's all loose. Gonna just take our tire lever, find a spot in there where we can get our tire lever underneath the bead of the tire. Just pop it outside the rim. I usually like to hold it with one of my thumbs. And then we just pop it out, just like that. It's going to give you just a little bit of gap right there that we can actually fill our tire back up with stands. So that little gap, we're just going to get it to the bottom right here, look and see how much stands is in there. It's completely dry. Let's shake my stands up really good. Just going to dump it inside there. I'm going to dump in 1.5 cupfuls. Now all I got to do is just put the bead back on the tire, and it should just go right back on with your hands. You typically don't need to use the tire lever. Just like that. Typically don't need to use the tire lever because it's wet with some stands on there, slippery. Now I'm going to take my air, hook it up to my Presta valve, got my air compressor. Going to spray some soapy water around the rim and around that spot that released. I'm just going to fill it back up. Fill it up pretty tight with air. Going to spin our tire. Make sure it's not leaking. And then once it's not leaking and sealed, I can see it bubbling out right here. And I'm going to turn that tire sideways, make sure it seals, and then I'll release my air. Thanks for watching our videos, and when done watching, don't forget to like us and share us. And you can also find us for more tips on Facebook at The Idaho Cyclist. That's The Idaho Cyclist on Facebook.